music lovers! I am so excited for you guys to meet the new and improved Taylor Mountain. Welcome to Toon Talk, guys. How's it going?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So you guys got a show coming up.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
Makes My Blood Dance. So it's a national band. They are coming through to the Hamilton Street Pub September 15th as a Sunday show. We're moving tickets. Tickets are moving. We're doing pretty good. We're pretty excited about it. We like their music. I get a little bit of like disco, but like some heaviness out of it. Their team has been amazing to work with. I mean, just to reach out, how organized everything is. You know, you're very thankful when you get to see a national and they have this all put together and the way they operate. You know, everybody runs shows differently. So coming into this one, but it puts pressure on you too, because like you got to come out and then you gotta give that A1 show and quality. And you know, unfortunately, that's the thing. I think for some people out there listening, we all work really hard as a band, you know, but just trying to get it together to get started in this scene. And this scene alone is extreme difficulty. You know, everybody's super competitive. So, I mean, I respect that. It builds you. That's what, you want to know why great musicians come out of Saginaw musician? Like, yeah, as a musician from Saginaw, it builds you.
Yeah.
You know, there's an echelon.
There's a lot of critics here.
You know, you got to get thick skin
you do.
if you want to get where you're going, right?
Right.
I think it makes you better.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. It'll eat away at you. It should make you better.
Yeah.
Really, honestly. Like, you know, that's the cool part. So I went out and elevated the musicians that I had, you know, to work with, because you have to constantly elevate to provide that quality. So I had an opportunity, and that's where Rich came in.
Yeah, we got some new faces.
Yeah, we have new faces.
Yeah,
so.
introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rich.
Rich,
Yes.
you're the...
Drummer. I hit things.
You hit things.
Perfect fit.
I'm Amir Azul.
And I know you're a familiar face.
Familiar face?
Yeah, you're a familiar face to me. And what's your role?
I am the bass player now in Taylor Mountain.
And, you know, so Taylor Mountain's been around for a while. What has you excited about this show and being a part with Taylor Mountain?
For me personally, for the last year or so, I've been playing guitar in different bands, but by nature and by originality, I'm a bass player. So it's kind of exciting to be back on bass. There's a little kind of, how would you put it, familiarity?
Yeah, 100%.
Because my homeboy Oz, from formerly known as The Smoke, he played bass in Taylor.
Eli helped write the
yeah.
riffs on Hypnotized, man.
Yeah.
And there's still one other banger out there that Eli has. And if you go on YouTube, you can see it, and it's a video, and that's me and him,
Yeah.
and some drums, and we call it the Hobo Song. And so that's a different, you'll see. So
Yeah.
I think you were able to see the evolution
Yeah.
of the music in itself. We've all collectively gotten better as musicians.
Absolutely.
That's another reason I integrated Chelsea as well. So Chelsea has come in here, and she has very strong vocals and an element that we were always missing. I think when I created Taylor Mountain and I started writing the songs, it always had a female voice in it. I mean, the only way I figured to replicate that differently was Tim Ripper Owens. You know what I mean? So kudos to him, KK's Priest. He's out destroying the world right now. Except all of those guys are phenomenal, man. So KK Downing, and that's cool because of that. That's helped a lot of spins in the United Kingdom. So that's the other thing here. All right, it's Taylor Mountain. You see, we enjoy it. We love playing nationals, but like the United Kingdom has been very, very welcoming to me. Scotland, particularly Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh,
I have, for all of the places in the world, and I've met some amazing artists through this. So it's constant.
I've got
new
some
music and networking.
I got a friend out there, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in Chicago now, but his whole family is
Really,
there.
dude from Glasgow, Scotland.
Yeah.
Really, craziness.
Actually, you just said that, and I was like, pretty positive. I just saw on his Snapchat with his family. He must have just been there.
I think that's the cool part about it, or a testament. These are all really good musicians.
Yeah.
And they're either coming from other bands or, so we've all ran the gauntlet. So at this point, when you wanna reunite with some people and maybe accomplish some form of redemption, there's a connection that we all have. And I think in Taylor Mountain, everybody always says, what is it? What encompasses it? It is rock and roll. Rock and roll is up.
For sure,
rock and roll
yeah.
is down. It's all over the place. There's no consistency. If you live like rock and roll, but that's the more fun part, like that's what rock and roll molds you to. When people walk by and go, those people are rock and roll.
Yeah.
I have no problems. Do you know what's great about rock and roll? Some people love it immediately.
Yeah.
Some people hate it. There's no middle ground. You're gonna know who likes you, who doesn't.
Yeah.
You're gonna know who you fit in with, who you don't. And if you can try to mimic the other things, maybe for success or other things, but if you do that, where's the originality?
Yeah, right.
You know
Yeah,
what
well,
I mean?
like you guys literally have, you can tell right away that it's rock and roll, but you have some songs that have like a bluesy, jazzy beat to it, and it's so fun. I think they're it's the fun stuff, like you guys are fun to watch. You're entertaining.
That's what makes Taylor Mountain super unique.
Yes.
In the time that I have been a part of Taylor Mountain, we've seen a lot of different bands, and most of them are super heavy, super hardcore, and then you look at us and we can be that, plus that little bit of soul that just makes it so catchy, and you can dance to it, you love it, and that's one of the things that makes us most unique.
Yeah, I agree. So we have this show coming up, and there are still tickets available. And how are we getting tickets?
So there's physical tickets. We still each kind of have a couple left, but those have moved pretty quickly. And then Eventbrite. So that's the other thing we've been pumping was the Eventbrite. You can go on there, and nowadays in the digital era, there's QR codes, there's all that stuff. So it's interesting when you hustle tickets, because like I come from the era of like you get out there and you physically put them in people's hands and shake hands and try to meet them.
I'd rather have the interaction myself.
I enjoy it personally,
I enjoy it too.
yeah. But like, you can't deny the ease of the digital. People, and that's the thing. Sometimes people say, well, the fees. Mm-hmm. But then you think about your time, and you're like, I don't know. I'm worth $3.89 extra.
Right.
I
think it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to it. And me and Jen are moving to Florida after the first of the year, so this is going to probably be my last hurrah, and I think it's going to be an awesome night, and I can't wait to do this.
We had so much uncertainty, man, like coming into if you were going to be able to or not, or and everything else, and that happened. And when that hit, that's the other thing. Like, we love doing this, man, and at this level, but that's the other thing. Other real things happen. So when the real job took a hit because of the economy, people ask you, well, how do you know things are a little different? And you're like, hey, I had a job for 9 years, and we just came in one day, and you had an option. So you're going to Florida. They offered that. So that's a great compensation package. Outside of all of that, like, and you had said
we'll see.
He had said he wanted to go to Florida.
I've been saying I want to go to Florida
for a couple years.
And
He's been telling
there
me,
was always been something, to stay.
Yeah.
And this time it's kind of like, well, it's not really it's more of a kick in the ass to get the hell out of Michigan, you fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's really funny, and for those people who believe in God, sometimes it's literal. Mm-hmm. If you just sit around and fart around all the time, then
you gotta work for it.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I was saying.
You're not forced to do something
silly,
to move.
Like we're all operating on an energy right now, and
Yeah.
we're feeding off that, and then it's that's what's really amazing about it. So to be where all of us are at differently in life, and connect musically is when you make the best music, because we don't have to have a preconceived notion of anything. We feel we can feel each other in the song. So when you get to write, that takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's the one thing is we all collectively shared that, you know, we've put the time in as musicians. We all work hard. You don't, I'll be honest, you don't end up in Taylor Mountain if you don't work hard.
Right.
So that's a testament to every one of these people standing here. Like, and he's been here the longest. Like, we've went through ups, downs, left and rights, nationals, you name it. We've ran the gauntlet. Then, you know, we fight like we're brothers, because we are.
It's part of being in the
We're
band.
brothers,
Absolutely,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
We are mean and nasty to each other sometimes. I'm surprised. We've never tussled or wrestled, man, but like,
We're
It's
able to
pretty
usually
comical.
get through it, you know, at the, by the,
It'll give you a giggle.
and, you know, and we talk a lot on, you know, on the computer and shit too. So, you know, obviously there's no tone and text. So
yeah.
sometimes things just,
Just come off
Yup.
the wrong
I hate
way,
it.
man.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Because
Yep.
it's like, what's the best way to start an argument? Text anything random. You could text something happy on the internet right
Yeah.
now, and
And
somebody would
somebody's
take
gonna-
offense to it.
somebody's
and
gonna
just, like,
piss me
because
off.
everybody's so
This
angry.
motherfucker.
And, like, so you try to avoid that at all costs. What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite horror film?
My favorite horror film?
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Killer.
Freddy is the shit.
Okay.
Killer. That was that Dream Warriors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dream Warriors is fire, man.
Is that Dockin?
Yes.
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 Yes. So that's weird because the docking on that, George Lynch, because you do stuff through the vault, you know, and he come through there,
Yeah.
and his now bass player is Jaron Galino. But I remember Jaron when he had just started in Tantric, and
Yeah,
Tantric
I
was one of my
remember Jaron.
first nationals, and as Taylor Mountain. So like, but then I watched him go on to with George Lynch and do, you know, they're
Yeah.
doing some of the dock and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
so great guys in all of those groups, man. I'm thankful like for that,
Yeah.
and to be like, hey, that is interesting.
It's
What
great.
about you? What's your favorite scary movie?
I would have to say In the Mouth of Madness.
Sam Neill?
Yep.
Great film.
That is a
Book
really-
writer?
Yep, it's basically all Lovecraft.
Oh, H.P.
Yes,
Lovecraft.
H.P.
Oh, I got
Lovecraft.
you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes more sense
Yep.
then. Yeah. I always thought Stephen King, you know.
No,
so,
it's
Yeah.
all
Freaky
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft.
yeah. What
You know,
about you,
that's
Rich?
in a scary movie. Watch
What's
it.
your favorite scary movie?
Friday the 13th, I'd have to go with.
Which one?
Yeah, I was gonna say which one.
10,000.
3, 4,
1,004.
2, 7, 44.
If I had-
700
if I'm talking favorite, though, I don't mind
77?
Freddy versus Jason. Dude.
Who? Okay, this should be a fun thing.
That was a weird one.
So,
Six
who,
was my favorite.
who was the protagonist to Jason then, in your favorite one? What was the character's
Everybody.
name?
He doesn't like anybody.
It was Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy
Yes,
Jarvis.
Tommy. Yep.
Tommy Jarvis.
Now Tommy Jarvis is Corey Feldman or
Or
Tommy
Tommy
O'Donnell.
Jarvis.
It's Tom.
You know.
Because that's crazier, and I'll segue into that. So, Shock Treatment, we're getting ready to relaunch probably about October, and I have an interview set up. So, we're going to be doing that too. But yeah, Tom is a really, really great guy, and he was the original Tommy Jarvis, and he does the entire voiceover.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I tried Tony Todd. This is a true story. I tried Tony Todd, and huge fan of him. My favorite, by the way, was Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake. And yeah, that was an
Really?
amazing film. So, but I tried Tony Todd, who I've ended up Candyman.
Barbara, yeah.
Remember Candyman?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
watch
he was
Tony Todd.
Candyman.
Todd.
So I asked him to
Yeah.
do it, but he never wrote back. But
I
yeah,
don't think I have a favorite.
you don't have a favorite horror
I
film?
do not. I love all of them. I mean, I guess the one I grew up on the most was Halloween.
Okay.
That was like one of our favorites to watch.
The only Halloween
And we watch
movie
it every
that was
year.
not good was the one
With
the
Beyonce.
With the, I know the one.
What?
No, with the
I was
mask.
I didn't say no.
Yeah.
The one with
'Cause that was
Beyonce was
completely-
It was
horrid.
part 3.
That
It was
was
part
part
3,
three?
and it was terrible.
Oh, yeah,
There-
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even think you see
Man.
Michael Myers.
No, he wasn't in the
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, they ripped everybody
See,
off
I think
on
the
that.
other
6
one
more
was
days
the
till
worst.
Halloween.
You could tell that they
Halloween,
finagled it. You
Halloween,
could see
6 more
the
days
head
till
being cut off
Halloween.
It
with
was
fake.
so bad.
Silver Shamrock.
Like Taylor Mountain is partially named after like where Ted Bundy used to like dump his bodies. So like, you know, that's a weird duality that we bring to the band that kind of comes from that or him. You know, there's dark essences of that. You look like a regular guy, you know. So it's like you should always kind of be. That's like the real aspect of it, that there's a little bit of realness. You know, you're making a movie while you hear Taylor Mountain. You know, the concept is that's going on in the background while the film is happening, basically.
Yeah.
So the songs play.
Yeah.
We're all grown.
I have to honestly say
Teenagers
that-
think differently. Think back to when
Yeah.
you were a teenager. Like,
But
how many of you have been in the Prestolite, Bay City?
The where?
You been to the top, Rich?
Yes, I
Prestolite.
have.
You been to the top? I've been to the top. What do you see when you look out at the top, Rich? And when you look a particular direction, what particular city can you see?
What city?
It's Crump.
Crump.
You can see the Crump pub if you
Oh.
climb all the way up to the top of the Prestolite.
I was a good child.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you tag your name while you were up there?
Yeah, that's up
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Yes.
I'm from Bay City. I mean, I grew up there. I
Never
don't.
been to the Prestolite?
You don't know where Prestolite is?
No.
I don't know where it's at,
Where
but
is
I don't
that?
know Bay City.
You have to sneak in and hope a door is open.
Yeah, now they have
Yeah.
guards that watch it.
Probably. Like we would,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to point out this was well over 18 years ago, or whatever the statute of limitations
Kids
might
were
be.
still sneaking in there
But,
on my days too.
Yeah,
Huh.
that place. I would honestly, though,
Oh.
if you like that stuff, let's go. All right, so following this up, let's try to go on a paranormal adventure as Toon Talk and Taylor Mountain,
Okay.
and we'll go pick some place, and
That's the
we'll
way.
just take some cameras and go and check it out and
Okay.
see, and we'll all
We
experience
will not
it
go to
together.
the house that.
What
Because
about
that
the
I know
house
is
that's
really
on
like that shit will attach to you.
Fremont?
I've seen that.
Is that it?
it's not
Yeah,
good.
there's a bunch of houses that there's a.
No, they actually made a series about
yeah,
it
they
on
did
Hulu.
the house
Yeah.
like the haunting on
Oh, on-
Hamilton, haunting
Yeah.
on Dice, haunting
Yeah.
on and for the Saginaw areas, haunting on Brockway because of that White House on Brockway. Yeah, which I don't know. It's none of it really registers with me too much. I've seen a couple of them, but I don't know. I think it was. I don't
Let's
know.
go on an adventure.
It's hard for me to get behind that kind of stuff
I think
Really?
that's
when it comes to reality and ghosts and stuff.
Really?
Cause I've never had an experience personally, but I've talked to people who have, and I respect and absolutely, believe their story. But to me personally, it's hard for me to grasp that because I don't want,
5 years ago, I was exactly
I
where
don't
you
want
are,
to
dude.
believe that people.
It only
are still
takes
here. I wanna
one.
believe
Yeah.
they moved
One
on.
time. One
And,
thing.
Fair enough.
like I'm
Respect that.
a Christian, dude.
Yeah.
Like I would have never thought, and I know what it took, and I will tell you this, that to get that to stop what had happened, I said the Lord's Prayer in my head. That's all I could do.
Yeah, I believe that those
And-
experiences are more demonic than they are
Man,
actual people who are.
I don't know.
are
All I
demons.
learned from it is if there is good, there is evil, and it's out there.
I mean,
have one
and
without the
and it
other.
is, I mean, yes,
they
like
coexist.
I may have said something like with that house. That is by far as demonic as I can picture exorcism type, like bad shit. Like it's bad. But like then you can have, like when my grandpa died and I'm driving down the road and then, I all of a sudden you can smell I smell them and, it was like like a kiss on the cheek. It was like, but you knew immediately that, that's grandpa. Like, oh, thank you.
I'm,
You know
I'm
what I mean?
Talking,
But
okay, yeah, you visited by loved ones and stuff like that. I can really grasp that. I'm just talking like where you got people haunting homes and stuff like
Knocking
that.
shit off your
Yeah,
shelves.
I think that that is more bad energy, bad juju, bad demons, stuff like that. I don't want to believe that people that we love who have passed away are stuck here. And,
I
no,
agree.
the energy is.
I agree.
to
Yeah.
be observers,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but
energy
I
is
would think that
attached
would
to
come
something.
From anger,
Yeah.
though, if it was energy, right?
Energy never dies.
Yeah.
That would be a
It
resided
doesn't.
energy.
It moves
so
somewhere.
Yes.
I
what
would
you're
say
doing
pure
is
evil.
rationalizing because
Yeah.
you're like
Oh, yeah,
happy
there is, for
thoughts
sure.
make
Yeah, I
the
don't
bad
think
go
it
away,
would be
right?
a
guess so, yeah.
person with
Like he said,
human feelings. I think it would be
I wasn't an energy person.
Right.
man.
demonic.
Absolutely.
I learned
Yeah.
a lot. I learned a lot about the world and
Mm.
meeting people.
Like just,
and
I was just
going
like thinking
out,
about it and I was like,
I
oh,
learned
okay.
that I was still pretty good head on my shoulders and right where I was, but you cannot deny a high vibration person, and I would guarantee every one of you has met somebody like that. And,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
it altered your life in a way, because I think when it hits you, you can only vibrate at that or higher after
Yeah.
that. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I don't
You
know.
don't want to be a low vibration person
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
It's funny
you know?
because some people, like, when people say, oh, like, you know, oh, I feel everything, I'm this or whatever. And there's names for stuff, but like you can go through phases. Like I went through phases that I couldn't even go to the grocery store. Like I can feel every single thing that's going on, and everything that was going on. I was like, oh, I gotta call somebody, man. Something ain't right. Like I don't even know. Do I want this? Can I control this? I don't even know. Like because it's a lot, and there's a lot of responsibility that can come with that too. And I was like, man, I don't know. But it seemed to like kind of chill out. I mean, I still get vibes. I mean, a lot of us get vibes.
I think
you know,
that's
with
an
your
ascension.
energy. Yeah.
I think when that happens, I get anxiety really, really bad when I'm leveling up as a person or elevating and finally reaping the rewards of like putting in hard work. When I know I do that as a person, you get like this uneasiness because people don't like change, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
But you're constantly working for it every day.
Yeah.
You're trying to change your situation. You're trying to, better everything, so you're doing those. And then like when you finally kind of are starting to do that, you become scared.
Yeah.
It's kind of like running at a cliff and you're like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to run and I'm going to jump and I'm not going to look back.
110%.
And you get 10 feet away from that ledge, and it's just natural in our brains because we know that we don't see what's coming after that.
Yeah.
And we've had that complacency, but I think when you do and you just let go, a metamorphosis happens.
Yeah.
And that metamorphosis is how you end up being that energy that vibrates higher, so you can, everybody can choose to do what they want with their energy, but I think everybody here knows, like, at the end of the day, if you, like, choose good, then it's good. It's going to be perpetuating the good and the
everything
goodness.
Your experience in elevating, you choose your experience. You can literally have, this is what I wanted, this is what I'm making my goals for, but right as the shift happens, you could totally freak out and be like, oh no, wait, and like, you can't go back, and then it turns into a negative instead of embracing the moment, letting it go through. I mean, already since we're making this move, it's been a couple times like, oh man, I don't know if we should go. It's like, absolutely, we need to go. We need to go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. We're gonna make it good, and you just gotta. You can change it.
Like when I talked to him about that, because I know he had reserve. We were killing it. We had Trapped, we had Tantric, we were already, banging through the nationals. And
Spirits
then they told
coming
us
through
all
the
that
corn.
and stopped us on
Children of the
time.
corn.
And I was when he called me a couple days after, and was like, I think I'm gonna go to Florida, and I know that I told him I'm not one of those people that like my success at doing this. It doesn't come at the cost of any of these people. That's not how you do it. You don't do that. So like, I'll just continue to work hard and continue to build. And like, that's the funny part. He knows, and he's okay with being able to, because he crafted an era of Taylor Mountain. But that's the cool part about success and passing things on. That's something we do different in Taylor Mountain. So he's passing the torch to Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it'll be great because in doing that, again, we get to evolve
and reinvent,
and we're evolving. You
Yeah.
know, so it's just pushing the music farther, and you don't know that Stephen James doesn't go down to Florida and do pretty well.
What up, everybody? Stephen James here from Toon Talk and Taylor Mountain, reminding you that September 15th at the Hamilton Street Pub in Oldtown Saginaw, it's Zero to Light Speed Fest, featuring Makes My Blood Dance, with special guests The Nuts, Grave Next Door, Hiding Salem, Clean, and of course, Taylor Mountain. Doors open at 5 p.m. Tickets still available at eventbrite.com. Get them before the show because the price is going up. See you there, and always remember, keep the music playing.